population. Now let's talk quickly about the Peloponnesian War, because as we know from looking at the notes that we just recorded, that Athens and Sparta were very different places, really opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of most of the Greek city-states. Again, Sparta is often associated with dictatorship, and Athens is often associated with democracy. But between 431 and 404 BC, the Athenians and the Spartans fought what was known as the Peloponnesian War. And as you can see on this map, you can see that both Athens and Sparta had victories, but they also had allies on both sides as well. But the general sort of twist with this war was that Athens was primarily a naval power and so relied on its navy to do most of its fighting. Sparta, on the other hand, had a very large military and a smaller navy. And so as a result, they relied mostly on sort of land conquest to fight their battles. And so it basically became difficult for the two sides to fight because in the case of Athens, they had an army, but not one that could compete with the Spartans. Now, over a period of many years, basically Sparta decided to eventually move towards Athens as a land battle, and as a result was able to conquer territories surrounding the city. At the time, the leader of the Athenians, Pericles, thought it was best to bring in the people from the surrounding countryside in behind the walls of ancient Athens for protection. This turned out to be not such a good move. They thought it would be good because they could continue to supply the city via ships that came into the port. But in the long term, what happened was a disease broke out, and a plague broke out through the city that killed a fairly significant portion of the population, and as a result, that weakened Athens. After many years of fighting between the two, an initial truce was signed, but years later, the Spartans basically found themselves under attack once again when the Athenian navy sent a huge navy fleet to the island of Sicily, and in an attempt to destroy the city of Syracuse, the city-state of Syracuse, which is actually a sort of colony of Sparta. This turned out to be a major military blunder. The navy and the 20,000 plus soldiers that were sent were basically wiped out by the Spartans, essentially destroying any military strength that the Athenians had left. And so that by 404 BC, Athens had lost the Peloponnesian War, and Spartan basically had come out the victor.